is Lily. I am 33 years old. I work in a hospital. I am a nurse. My job is to help sick people. I work long hours every day. I work during the day, and sometimes I work at night. I love my job because I like helping people. Before last year, I was alone. I had no boyfriend, and I lived by myself. I worked all the time, and I was very tired. After work, I often visited my mother. My mother lives in a small village. She is old, so I like to help her too. Life was quiet and simple. One day, something changed. A new doctor came to work at our hospital. His name is Michael. Michael is 2 years younger than me. He is 31 years old, and he is very handsome. He is tall, with brown hair and blue eyes. He smiles a lot. All the nurses liked him. He was friendly and charming. He talked to everyone and made people laugh. I didn't talk to him much at first. I was shy and busy with my work. But one day, we had lunch at the same time. He sat next to me in the cafeteria and said hello. "Hi, I'm Michael," he said. "I know," I said, and smiled. "I'm Lily. I've seen you around. You look like a very serious nurse," he said. I laughed. "Maybe. I just work a lot." "Well, I'm glad we're finally talking," he said. After that, we started talking more. Sometimes we had lunch together. Sometimes we met after work for a coffee. Michael was funny and smart. He told me stories about his travels and his family. He listened when I talked about my life. I started to like him. One day, he asked me to go out for dinner. I said yes. We went to a small restaurant near the hospital. We had a good time. He walked me home, and at the door, he kissed me. I was surprised, but I liked it. We started seeing each other more. I felt happy. I thought maybe I was in love. But there was a problem. Michael never talked about his personal life. He didn't tell me much about where he lived or what he did outside of work. He never invited me to his home. I started to feel confused. One day, I asked him directly, "Michael, are you married?" He looked at me and didn't answer right away. Then he said, "It's complicated." My heart sank. "What does that mean?" I asked. He looked away. "I'm still married, but we are not together. It's almost over." I didn't know what to say. I felt sad and angry. "Why didn't you tell me before?" I asked. "I didn't want to lose you," he said. "I need time to think," I told him. That night, I cried. I felt stupid. I thought he loved me, but now I wasn't sure. For a few days, I didn't talk to him. He sent me messages, but I didn't reply. I needed to decide what to do. In the end, I decided to end it. I couldn't be with someone who wasn't honest with me. I told Michael it was over. He looked sad but didn't try to stop me. I walked away, my heart heavy, but my mind clear. The days after I ended things with Michael felt strange. Part of me missed him, but I knew I did the right thing. I needed time to think about my life and what I truly wanted. I spent more time with my friends and focused on my work at the hospital. Things slowly started to feel normal again. One afternoon, as I was leaving the pit hospital, I decided to take a walk through the park. It was a sunny day, and I needed some fresh air. As I was walking, I heard someone call my name. "Lily," a familiar voice called out. I turned around and saw Daniel, an old friend from college, walking towards me. We hadn't seen each other in years. Daniel, what a surprise, I said, smiling. We hugged, and he asked if I had time for a coffee. I agreed, happy to catch up. We sat at a small cafe in the park, talking about our lives. Daniel told me he had recently moved back to the city for work. He was a teacher now, and he loved his job. I told him about my work at the hospital, and we laughed about old times in college. Over the next few weeks, Daniel and I met often for coffee. We talked about everything, our work, our lives, and our dreams for the future. He wasn't like Michael. He was open and honest, and I didn't feel confused when I was with him. I realized that I didn't miss Michael anymore. Daniel and I continued to see each other. We went to the movies, took long walks in the park, and sometimes just sat and talked for hours. He was kind, funny, and always made me feel good about myself. Daniel and I had been together for almost a year, and everything was going well. I trusted him, and we spent a lot of time together. One day, though, something happened that made me question everything. It was a Friday afternoon. I had just finished my shift at the hospital and decided to surprise Daniel at his favorite cafe. I knew he often went there after work to relax with a cup of coffee. I walked in expecting to see him sitting alone, but what I saw made my heart sink. Daniel was sitting with a woman. She was beautiful, tall, with long hair and a bright smile. They were laughing and talking closely. I stood at the entrance watching them. My mind began to race. Who is she? I thought. Is she his girlfriend? Why didn't he tell me about her? I didn't know what to do. Should I walk over and say hello, or should I leave and pretend I never saw them together? My heart was pounding, and I felt a knot in my stomach. After a moment, I decided to leave. I couldn't face him or the woman. I hurried out of the cafe and walked home feeling confused and hurt. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about what I saw. I didn't sleep well, and in the morning I woke up feeling even worse. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I couldn't shake the feeling that Daniel was hiding something from me. Later that day, Daniel called me. His voice was cheerful, like nothing was wrong. "Hey, Lily, do you want to go for a walk this evening?" he asked. I hesitated. I didn't know if I could act normal after what I saw, but I agreed to meet him, thinking I would talk to him about it. When we met in the park, Daniel was smiling as always. We walked for a while, talking about our day, but I couldn't focus. I kept thinking about the woman in the cafe. Finally, I stopped walking and turned to him. "Daniel, I need to ask you something," I said, my voice shaking a little. He looked at me, concerned. "What's wrong, Lily?" "I saw you yesterday at the cafe," I began, trying to stay calm. "You were with a woman. You seemed really close. I thought maybe she was your girlfriend." Daniel's eyes widened in surprise. "Wait, what? You saw me at the cafe?" "Yes," I said quietly, and I didn't know what to think. Daniel was silent for a moment, and my heart sank. I thought maybe he was about to confess that he had been hiding something from me. But then he laughed softly and shook his head. "Lily," he said, reaching for my hand, "that woman wasn't my girlfriend. She's my cousin, Grace." "Your cousin?" I asked, feeling a little embarrassed. Yes, he explained. Grace just moved to the city, and she doesn't know many people here. I was catching up with her, helping her feel more at home. I didn't mention it because it didn't seem like a big deal. I let out a sigh of relief. Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel. I just saw you two together and I jumped to conclusions. Daniel smiled gently and squeezed my hand. It's okay, Lily. I understand why you were worried, but you don't have to be. There's no one else. You're the only person I care about. Hearing his words, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. I had been so quick to assume the worst, but now I realized I had nothing to worry about. Daniel had always been honest with me, and I needed to trust him. One evening, as we were having dinner, Daniel asked me about my past relationships. I hesitated at first, not sure if I was ready to talk about Michael, but I trusted Daniel, so I told him everything. I was seeing someone before we reconnected, I began, looking down at my plate. His name was Michael, and he was complicated. He was married, and I knew it wasn't right, but I cared about him. In the end, I chose to walk away. Daniel listened quietly, not interrupting. When I finished, he reached across the table and took my hand. I'm glad you told me, Lily. I know that must have been hard, but I'm here for you now, and I want us to be honest with each other. I nodded, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. Thank you, Daniel. I want that too. From that moment on, I knew Daniel was someone I could trust. We continued to build our relationship, supporting each other through life's ups and downs. I didn't regret ending things with Michael. It had been the right decision, and now I was with someone who truly made me happy. One day, while we were walking in the park, Daniel stopped and looked at me seriously. Lily, I have something to ask you, he said. I looked at him, a little nervous. What is it? I've been thinking a lot about us, he began, and I know we've only been together for a year, but I can't imagine my life without you. You make me happy every day, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. My heart raced as I listened to him. Was he asking what I thought he was asking? Daniel reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. He opened it to reveal a beautiful ring. Lily, will you marry me? I was in shock. I hadn't expected this at all, but as I looked into Daniel's eyes, I knew the answer. Yes, I said, tears of happiness filling my eyes. Yes, I will. Daniel smiled, sliding the ring onto my finger. We hugged, and I felt a wave of happiness wash over me. I never thought I'd find love after everything that happened with Michael, but here I was, engaged to someone who truly cared for me. Michael was part of my past, and while it was a difficult time, it helped me grow stronger. Now I was starting a new chapter with Daniel, and I couldn't wait to see what the future held. Life has a funny way of surprising us, but sometimes the things we don't understand lead us to the best parts of our lives. Life wasn't always easy, but with Daniel by my side, I felt stronger. We faced challenges together, but we always found a way to work through them. And as time went on, I realized that this was the kind of relationship I had always wanted. One built on trust, respect, and love. If you enjoy the story, Please like, subscribe, and share.